Money. What is money? What is money for you? What do you associate money with? What does it mean to you? What does it mean about you, your relationship with money? In this video, I'm going to share with you some insights from the materials that we're teaching now in our program, The Thriving Circle. These insights will be catalytic, disruptive, healing, awakening, uncomfortable, triggering, and ultimately liberating. And in addition to these insights, I will share with you why it is so crucial to reclaim and heal your relationship with money, and why it is about much more than you think. Why what's at stake right now is no less than the state of the world and the planet. The stakes are much bigger than what you think you need to reclaim your relationship with money for. So buckle up and let's go. When I began healing and reclaiming my authentic and direct relationship with money from Patriarchy Stress Disorder, aka PSD, my journey has taken through many layers of healing, and there are many more to go. And there was a moment on my healing journey when I got this download. Money is everything. Money is everything. Money is everything. What if money is this pure universal energy of creation expressed in density as money? How sweet, how pure is it? How different is it from what we were taught about money as evil or the root of all evil? All the distortions that originated in the oppressive paradigms, rooted and stemming from patriarchy, like colonialism and racism and other oppressive systems. These stories about money that are the tools of oppression, the stories are the tools of oppression that stole from us the purity of the original meaning of money, the original direct relationship with money. That is our birthright. It is our birthright to have the direct relationship with the universal energy of creation that expresses in density as money. These stories that are the tools of oppression make sure that oppressive paradigms remain in place. These stories live not only in our minds, but more importantly, they live in our bodies and in our subconscious, our individual and collective subconscious. That's why in trauma healing, in healing PSD, we work with the body and the subconscious mind to unwind from these stories that wreck our individual lives and they wreck our society. So we can invoke new, authentic stories. We can tap into them again through the body, through the deeper layers of our embodied knowing. That can guide our relationship with money, our new, direct, authentic relationship with money as the energy of creation expressed in density as money, and how we get to steward it and play with it to create a better world. If we're living the new story of money as the energy of creation expressed in density as money, how come some people have access to it and some not? Some control it and control other people's access to it. How is that possible? In the new story, It is not possible. But we cannot simply reject the old story and embrace the new one. We cannot simply do it on the intellectual level. It won't work. The unwinding, healing, and reclamation of the authentic story must happen in the body and the subconscious mind. It is in the body and the subconscious where the trauma lives. And as you know from my work, hopefully from other people's work as well, that there is scientific evidence of intergenerational transmission of trauma. And this study that is in my book, the study about the mice and cherry blossoms, really shows how, for women, our relationship with money has so much trauma around it through the trauma of patriarchal conditioning. In this study, researchers introduced the smell of cherry blossoms to mice while simultaneously zapping their feet with mild electric shocks. The mice were then bred, and their children and their grandchildren, when exposed to the smell of cherry blossoms, showed a strong fear and anxiety reaction. For centuries, for millennia, women could not have access to money. It wasn't until 1960 that a woman could open a bank account in her own name in the United States. It wasn't until 1988 that a woman got a right to take out a business loan in her own name without a male relative cosigner. The trauma around not having access to money, the energy of creation in the world for women runs deep. Free labor that patriarchy is addicted to, that free women's labor that has shaped what we can expect to get on the subconscious level, that runs deep. And as Reshma Menaken points out in his book, My Grandmother's Hands, white bodies and black bodies have trauma, have racialized trauma. And when we're talking about patriarchy stress disorder, black female bodies and white female bodies, and the bodies of women across the intersections of race, social class, sexual orientation, ability status, and other aspects of our identity, our embodied identity, we all experience trauma differently because we have had different histories. We have different stories woven into our bodies, into our subconscious, into our nervous systems. And yet we have something in common. The way trauma works is universal. And the healing tools and approaches are universal. Although our traumas are different and our stories are different, beyond the stories, the embodied experience of trauma that we carries the same imprint of safe, unsafe. It has not been safe or even possible for women to have their own money. And when we consider this study of mice and cherry blossoms and the pain of this prohibition on having our own money that has been transmitted generation after generation, we can begin to understand that the urgency of this reclamation is pressing. And I hope you begin to understand that this reclamation goes a lot deeper than the reclamation of your personal relationship with money, because you want to get a better paying job, or because you want to take your business to the next level, or because you need to provide for your family. These are all noble and beautiful and immediate goals that, of course, this trauma healing will help you unwind new possibilities in your life. And it goes a lot deeper when we reclaim our authentic relationship with money, authentic and direct relationship with money. We begin to rewrite the collective story of what money is and what money isn't. When we're living in the new story of the direct and authentic relationship with money as this energy of creation that flows through us and we get to steward, how can the ideas of supremacy, the ideas and practices of supremacy, and some people controlling other people's access to resources, how can that stand? And that liberation starts within. So I wanted to share with you an invitation today, because this reclamation feels very urgent. We have made it the theme of our upcoming virtual retreat, the Thriving Experience. This retreat is free to attend, and it is a gathering of women from all over the world on this journey of healing from Patriarchy Stress Disorder, or PSD. My partner Jeffrey and I will be facilitating the experience, where with the tools that awaken awareness and healing of intergenerational collective trauma of oppression by patriarchy, colonialism, and racism, and many layers of disempowerment and lethal imbalances in our world, these traumas have made possible. We'll be sharing with you the tools that you can start using right there and then to start having the experience of shifting from survival, from living in the invisible in the prison of these intergenerational collective and personal traumas, to the experience of thriving, peeking into the reality that is created from a place of feeling authentically safe in your body, in your nervous system, in your skin, in the world. The experience that unfortunately has been reserved for the privileged few. And even then, yes, I want to say that safety is definitely privilege. And there are so many degrees where even people we think of holding the most privilege in the world, white men, also have the degrees of feeling unsafe. However, we are going to focus on women, and we know that being a woman in the world has always been an unsafe experience. It's never been safe to be a woman in the world, and it's even more complex, unsafe, and ridden with very concrete and pressing dangers for women of color, indigenous women. All these layers that are coming up to our collective awareness right now so acutely, so pressingly, we have the opportunity to heal them now. So if this is speaking to you, hope to see you at the Thriving Experience, thethrivingexperience.com, where we will be experiencing the healing ourselves and sending the ripples into the world, thethrivingexperience.com. So the event is coming up in August 14th through the 16th. And the theme this time will be unpacking and healing our direct, authentic relationship with the energy of creation expressed in density as money, so we can be empowered and embody the change we want to see in the world and in our lives. We must reclaim and heal our authentic relationship with money, a direct relationship without the patriarchal, colonial middlemen meddling with it. As we reclaim it, we're able to subvert from oppression, first internally and then externally as well. Every advance in freedom began with the inner freedom leading the way. We have been in bondage for so long, our bodies and minds, in the bondage of oppression through patriarchy, colonialism, and racism. So we must heal the damage the bondage has done to our minds, our bodies, our nervous system, our sense of who we are, so we can unfurl and step into our authentic way of being. And reclaiming our authentic relationship with money, with the energy of creation expressed in density, is required for us to create a better world, designed by our authentic desires, individual and collective. The key difference between authentic and programmed desires is that authentic desires arise from our authentic wisdom that's rooted in the universal wisdom, that is grounded in our interbeing and interdependence with other humans, with the animal world, with the planet, and the worlds outside this planet. Programmed desires are programmed by the oppressive systems that have ruled for millennia. They have central to them the myth of individualism and separateness. Separateness of the mind from the body, separateness of the individual from others. This myth makes possible the ideology of supremacy and the practices of oppression. So unwinding from inauthentic programmed desires is a huge part of liberation and creating a better world free from oppression and other crimes born out of the delusion of individualism and separateness. The world depends on you. The world depends on you, reclaiming your authentic desires. The world depends on you reclaiming your authentic relationship with money as the energy of creation expressed in density. The energy that makes possible what you authentically desire to create or dismantle, and not just in your mind and in your heart, but in reality, in density. So I hope you join us, an international group of women coming from all over the world, coming together to witness one another, to come out of the silos of feeling there's something wrong with them and they need fixing, coming and witnessing each other's authentic beauty, authentic power, authentic desires, and getting on this journey of healing and reclaiming our whole being, our whole beingness from the bondages of generations and generations and generations of the trauma of oppression. It is urgent, and I hope you're feeling it. How much louder can these calls get? I hope they don't have to. And the last thing I want to mention is the healing is also fun. The healing is also fun. Yes, it's intense, and it's also fun. Our favorite feedback that we get from our attendees is that it is the most amazing group of women they've ever been a part of, And that is because we're shedding the layers of programmed judgment of ourselves and others, programmed identities imprinted upon us by oppressive systems. And what we're uncovering underneath is more and more and deeper and fuller and more whole authenticity. And that is what makes us all super amazing. So I hope you come and join us, thethrivingexperience.com. It's free to attend August 14th through the 16th. Please share this invitation if it speaks to you with other women you want to share this journey with. Thank you so much for being a part of this movement. It is a pleasure changing the world with you. Here is to how good can it get for all.